Hello, friends and neighbors. So today I figured I'm out on Central here, down by where the Ford factory used to be, right there, across from the new dwarf house that opened, year and a half, 2 years ago. And I know that a lot of changes have happened over here on the south side. Union Avenue specifically. So I figured I would ride over there and check it out. There's 464 South Central. You could tell it used to be a house, but that was back in the 30s or 40s, and then of course it was a business. I think it was a lumber yard or something like that at one point. But I figured we'll go down this way and check out we'll go down Perkins. Well, no, we're gonna, before Perkins, we're gonna turn left on Union because I think the last time I covered Union was in tour number 45. So you can go check that one out. It was a live stream that I did. I think that was the last one. And then maybe in number, I don't know, there were a couple other ones. But that was a year, 2.5 years ago, when I found out that development was going to happen over here. So I wanted to record what was over here. I'm not sure if it was number 45, but here we are going down Union Avenue off of South Central. And anyway, I passed by here the other day, and even though I knew it was coming, look at the old gas pumps over there for whatever business was there. But this whole area over here, this has been clear ever since I lived here. But you'll see as we go down. Am I on Union or am I on Elm? I'm on Elm, aren't I? Sorry. I'm on Elm Street right now. And here's the intersection of Elm and College Street. The apartments there. Sorry, I kept saying Union, but we are going to go down Union because that's what I want to show you. You know, as a matter of fact, I think I came around here more recently the other day, so I'm going to turn around and we're going to go over to College Street School and go down Union because it's pretty impactful to see. But there's the apartments, and the old nunnery used to sit back there many years ago, decades ago. But you've seen these before in previous videos. They're now abandoned and ready to be torn down. That's 543, 555. All of these are going to be torn down. And just as when we go down Union here, you'll see a lot of the homes that I filmed previously within the last couple of years of knowing that they were going to go, they're gone. So as I was saying, even though you know it's going to happen, it's shocking when it finally does. That is now the Hapeville Vietnamese Baptist Church. I don't know what kind of church that was built as because it's not mentioned really in any of in the history book or anything that I've read. Sorry, I'm on my bike. The corner of Perkins and College, and then there is the condos now that used to be College Street School. Oh, the corner of College Street and Union, they've changed these to Bloom at Aerotropolis. That's new. At 558 College Street. Did not know that had been changed, so those must have been bought as well. But here you'll see the difference. Bloom at Aerotropolis. I'll be darned. So the big house that was here and the little store, all gone. You can see all the way through over to the next street over there. But 3624, that survived. And then this next one, I don't know how that happens. I guess they just decide not to sell. I'm surprised that one made it because it's very old. Doesn't have its house number on it, so I can't tell you what. Oh, there it is. This is 3630. And then look, all cleared out. So as you can see, all cleared out. And then after 3630, you can see all the way through. Look at that. And then you can see that this house down at the corner on, I think that's Chestnut, that house, and maybe one more survived. We'll see as we go down, but all of these in between 3630 and down were sold. Yeah, I can't pretend to understand the politics of it, of how I can only assume that whoever owns, and then look over there, we'll ride around there and see, but I can only assume it's going to be townhomes right there. I can only assume that whoever owns this little house built in the 40s just was like, nope, I'm not selling number 3656. So between 3656 and 3630, all of those got sold, but these two have survived. I'm glad this is number 3670. It's such a cute house, and I'm glad it has. Now I'll go around the corner, because I believe behind this, that whole area is also cleared out. Yep, here on Chestnut, and is also being developed. Yep. Isn't that something? Just so much happening. Just all of this land has either this had nothing on it. I mean, sure, there was neighborhood homes here, but at least for the last 7 years that I've been here, this was woods, and I couldn't see any proof, like aprons that would indicate that houses were there. But I'm pretty sure that there were houses there. But here we are coming back up to Elm Street here. And it would have continued south, but the airport took it. And now, as I've showed before, this is looks like where we dump leaves and trees and things like that. Organic waste, perhaps. Broken up sidewalks from around town. But that's Elm Street, which used to continue south. And there's proof of the airport right there. Airplane taking off. And then we're looking down Central again, and there's those houses that are still there on the left. So a few of them survived. It will never cease to amaze me. I'm glad I got to see at least remnants of what this neighborhood used to be before it's completely gone, and that's why I try to make a record of this so folks in the future can look back and at least see where the homes were, because this town is very rapidly losing, in many of its areas, losing its uniqueness. Some would say its charm. And so it's just turning into blocks of townhome after blocks of townhome, which unfortunately strips Hapeville of much of its story. And I hate to see it, but at least I've recorded it here. I like that there are a couple homes down here on Union. I've showcased them before that have remained, and my hope is that someone will buy them who can afford it and fix them up, like this one here at Union and Chestnut, right straight ahead. Gosh, I love that one. It's got beautiful lead windows, which I've showed before. That's Union and Chestnut right there. But it has these beautiful windows on the side, and then on the other side, as you turn on Forest Avenue here, you can see back there the wrought iron or cast iron, I don't know the difference, stairway and porch. And then this one I've shown before, 3688. It's just sitting here all by itself, just missing the wrecking ball back in 69, 70, when the airport took over the rest of Hapeville, which was down there past Oak Street. Oak Street is the final street left, and then you've got Loop Road. And Hapeville used to exist right out there underneath what are now runways. As we go down here to where Union Avenue ends at Loop Road, formerly next to Oak Street, I'll do a turn here. There goes a plane. You could just sit down here and watch the planes take off and land all day long. And then here at the corner of Oak and Union, oh, it's gotten a little facelift. That's good. There's an old 70s era business building, office building. Looks like they've painted it recently, which is great. It says Spotlight Salon and Suites. But it's so isolated back here on Oak Street that it's hard to know how any of that, any businesses in there would get any custom. I think there was a dentist there at one time. Now, admittedly, I've only gone here a couple times, but I've heard stories that folks in Hapeville would often frequent this restaurant called the Airport View Restaurant and Bar. I've been there twice, but I've never sat in it. I've just gotten my food and left. Certainly lives up to its name, Airport View. Look at that. The tower is right there. And Airport View. They're only open Monday through Friday, 10 to 3, so they certainly just cater to the airport lunch crowd. So I always forget that they're open and rarely get over here. Now this huge apartment complex here has just, anytime I see in old Hapeville archives, I see a Atlanta Avenue or not College Street. What am I on here? I'm gonna have to see as we go. Anytime I see addresses on this street or the street to my left, I know not to even bother coming over to see, because I know the house isn't going to be here. But all gone. On this side, just huge apartments, and on this side now it's going to be either it looks like townhomes to me, setups for townhomes. This is Chestnut coming up. And I'm sure most of you are just like, I don't recognize any of this at all. Georgia Avenue, that's where I am. I'm in the corner of Georgia Avenue and Chestnut right here. Completely unrecognizable if you grew up here back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. But here I am looking down towards Atlanta Avenue. There's Georgia, this is Chestnut, Georgia Avenue, and then of course it picks up again here, Georgia Avenue. Right at the corner of Georgia Avenue and Chestnut, right here, the Christ Church that we have now sitting in the park, in Jess Lucas Park, it was originally at this corner, and it was only a church for about 15 years, if I'm remembering correctly, like from 1895 to 1915, and then it was a residence, and many of you will remember a woman named Abby Mann who lived in that house. Her name pops up when I research a lot. Her name pops up often. But that's what this intersection looks like now. So as you can see, a few scattered homes have survived, and the hope is that those folks held out and they have plans to renovate their homes, which will be wonderful because those will be even more precious as the south of Hapeville looks more and more like this. I mean, it's all a matter of perspective. There are folks that are going to move to Hapeville and just absolutely love this. All this property we're looking at now belonged to the Lewis family back in the day. If I turn here on this new road that's called Oakview Drive, there's College Street School, by the way, and the other side, as you can see all the way through now. It's empty, directly behind. I think on this property you all would cross the street, and there was a playground here at one point. And this is also the house where, I can't remember her name, but the woman who rescued children in May of 1968 during the explosion, the nursery school explosion that happened in Memorial Day of 1968. There was a home here, and the woman who also, she worked at the Baptist church and was well known in town. She worked at the nursery, and she perished in it. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember her name. But this is now called Oakview Drive. There's an original house left right there. Once again, another example of just like everything around it being torn down, and just that one surviving, all torn out, that one survives. It's fascinating because that means there's a story for each one of these and a reason why they survived. But if we go down this road here, this is basically onto the property that used to be, up until about 2005, the home was called the Heritage House, and Aubrey Lewis lived in that home, Aubrey Lewis, who owned Donahue Lewis Funeral Home. That was their property. Assuming that was a gym and locker rooms, I had to guess. I think someone told me at one point that that's what that was. It's fascinating. Hapeville's first school. The site of the first school. This is like the third iteration of the school that has sat there, though. Most dramatically, the one built in 1912 burned, and a new one was built in 1915. And the interesting thing is, the one that was there that burned, it didn't have a chance because at the same time the city was working on the water lines, and we didn't have access to water to put the fire out quickly enough. Now here's some more development happening across from the First Baptist Church. There was a row of 4 homes, and I know one of the members here told me that their mother or their grandmother, I can't remember who, lived in the big yellow house, which is right over there, Tim and Al's house now, and she also did something very unique back then as a woman and built two of the 4 homes that were sitting here. But if you look back at my previous videos, you will see these homes before they were torn down. I recorded all of them. And we're coming up to South Fulton. Right now, this is where the old stone church used to sit. You can see its shadow within the 2 buildings there. That's where it sat. And of course, as we pass by 3548 South Fulton, an old beautiful home still extant here, which I'm so happy about, directly across from Annis Park. Did you all know that that's called Annis Park? In front of the church. And then my friends Tim and Al, they now own this home, and they run their flower shop out of it as well, 2000 AD. Flower shop and gift shop, and they've cleaned up the front, taken a lot of the big trees down so you can get a nice view of what the home looks like now. That's the oldest home in Hapeville. It's been here since I can't remember the date. Now this house is beautiful, but it doesn't enjoy historic distinction because it has been altered too many times and does not look at all like its original self. So it no longer qualifies as a historic Hapeville home. And then the post office, 1941. The old bay doors are open. One of them is. A little bit of a ramble today, but I wanted to show you and effectively record where we're at in the development of the south side of Hapeville today. So that's it. I'm going to stop here because I've got to cross this busy road and head home. So you all create yourselves a great day.